Day 44, Daddy in Dubai. Today is the 24th of March, Tuesday. And if you don't know, I don't spell Tuesday with a T. I spell Tuesday with a CH, double OSE. Choose what kind of day you're going to have. And you know what? I woke up this morning and I read something which I'd like to share with you, Sunshine. And it doesn't matter when you read it or when you hear it, but when you do, hopefully it will make sense. And at some point, when you do hear it, it may not make sense to you now, but it may make sense to you years from now. And what I'd like to do is read it out to you, because when I read it this morning, as I woke up, I ended up crying. And earlier, when I read it to somebody else, I started crying towards the end, right? It got me emotional. So I'm going to read it for the third time. And maybe I'll get emotional, maybe I won't. But let me read it out to you, okay? When joy becomes simple, life becomes extraordinary. And this was written by, I think her name is Sangeeta Mittal. So I'm going to read it out to you. One morning, as I padded from 66 into 67, a warm cup of tea brought surprising clarity. I realized that this phase of life is not about counting years, but about finally understanding them. After decades being a daughter, sister, wife, mother, and mentor, I found myself meeting my own self again. And what emerged were not heavy truths, but gentle ones, like early sunlight slipping into a silent room. The first truth was simple: life moves forward. Whether or not we hold on to its passing moments. Children grow into their destinies, friends walk their chosen paths, and even the body changes its rhythm. Holding life too tightly is like trying to contain water in a closed fist. The more you grip, the more you lose. Well, I finally let life flow. I felt the taste of inner freedom. The second understanding came from 46 years of marriage. Long relationships, I realized, do not survive because they are perfect. They survive because hearts learn to soften. Companionship grows when forgiveness outweighs ego, when pride quietly steps aside to make space for kindness. A long marriage is not a trophy on a shelf, but a discipline practiced quietly every day. Age also taught me that health is not something we merely manage, it's something we must respect. The body whispers, then it speaks, and then it finally demands. Wisdom lies in listening to the whisper, a brisk walk, a lighter plate, more sunlight, less sugar, deeper sleep. These are not routines of aging, but blessings that steady the journey. Somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way, I discovered that peace became the most incredible luxury of the later years. In youth, I chased recognition, validation, and identity. Today, silence feels like people come and go, but you remain with yourself from the first breath to the last. Be gentle with your memories. Respect your journey. Companionship. Not every comment deserves energy. Not every argument needs a response. Guarding peace has become my most treasured discipline. And then joy revealed its simplest form. It hides not in outstanding achievements, but in the smallest spaces, a warm shawl, a gentle sunrise, a melody that softens the soul, a quiet meal with someone who understands your pauses. When joy becomes simple, life becomes extraordinary. Growing older is compulsory, but growing deeper is a choice. Perhaps the most tender truth of all is this: your longest relation, you are your longest and most faithful relationship. People come and go, but you remain yourself from your first breath to your last. Be gentle with your memories, respect your journey. And to the younger generation, I offer only one reminder: your parents, too, were young once. We loved, made mistakes, worried, and learned without any degree in parenting. You grew up watching us grow. Let there be mutual forgiveness, understanding, and respect. Families stand strongest not on perfection, but on empathy. To those who are my age, I say this: today's youth are doing their best in a world far more complex than ours. Let us not weigh them down with our nostalgia. Remember the philosopher Khalil Gibran's wisdom: your children are not your children. They came through you, but not from you. We are the doorway they walk through, not the path they must walk. Let them write their story in their own hand. And finally, one lesson stands strong: if no one comes to lift you, stand up anyway, because you still can. That one truth holds the power to transform everything ahead. As Sufi poet Bule Shah reminds us, Bule ki jana main kaun, which means the deepest journey of life is always inward, towards the unmasked self, quietly, waiting quietly within. The author is a Hoshipur-based philanthropist and social activist. And look, I managed to say that without getting emotional. And when I read that this morning, it was a message that I had to read today to understand who I am and what my journey is and my purpose here on this planet Earth. So, Sunshine, on day 44 of your digital daddy in Dubai, I can safely say that I will never forget this day for the rest of my life. Not only because of this message that I read out to you, but the events that happened after that, and after that, and after that, and after that, and after that, leading up to now. I won't share what's happened so far, purely because it's not necessary right now, but all in good time, you will understand why the 24th of March, day 44 of Daddy in Dubai was so epic that I chose today to be the most greatest day of me being alive. And believe me, if I shared the events that led to me sitting here right now, it's nothing short but breathtaking. From my thoughts of what I required to what has conspired and been delivered to me today is nothing short of the word spectacular. And I don't know if you can see behind me, it says, have you ever? There are 6 things there. Have you ever jumped off a cliff? Had stitches? Paid for a stranger's meal? Danced in the rain? Been on television? And drank coffee at 3 a.m.? Out of those 6 things, your daddy's done 4. I've never had stitches and I've never jumped off a cliff. However, there's still time for that, right? But the question to you, son, is make a list of all the things that you'd love to do in life. Make it. And look, if you're not my son and you're watching this, have you ever done any of these things? It was quite ironic that I found this coffee shop for me to record my day 44 in Dubai. And there are messages around this whole place, like over there, it says, sometimes you have to be your own hero. And I thank myself, give myself a pat on the back for listening to myself, listening to my soul, the spirit of unconditional love. Because you have to. You have to listen to yourself. You have to listen to what's inside of you, right? So, Sunshine, love you to the moon and back. Today was the greatest day ever for me. And that's because I chose it to be. I woke up and read that message from that beautiful lady. And I've also emailed her and posted it on multiple social media platforms, sent it on WhatsApp groups. And what conspired out of understanding this, wow, it's given me a peace within that I can't describe. But listen to that message again until you understand it. And if my dad's watching, if my mother's watching, if my mother-in-law, father-in-law, anybody is watching this, please understand that message because it's deep, right? It's extremely deep. So on that deep note, this is your digital daddy on day 44. Live, well, not live, recorded in the DIFC district, where the little things that you do every day count. And I say that because it says little things in front of me. I'm saying what I see and seeing what I say. There you go. If you say what you see, it will show you how the magic of life is in the now. Right now, you can hear me, but make sure you are here. Next time, I'll talk about if you see what you say, right? Sunshine, love you to the moon and back. And if you're watching this and you're not my son, I love you too. And remember one thing, Dizzy Rascal says this all the time. You are awesome, yeah? You are absolutely awesome. Don't ever forget that.